For the first time since 1986, Italy and the rest of the alpine ski racing world is without the brilliance of Alberto Tomba, the master of the slalom. The scramble is on to fill the retired legend's boots. New faces like that of Frenchman Puckett, winner of the season's first slalom in Park City, Utah. Familiar ones, such as Norwegian Olympic champion on the slalom, Hans-Peter Barras. Or perhaps a seasoned veteran, such as Austrian Christian Meyer, who has won a place on the podium in 3 straight races in America. Today, the best ski racers on the planet, the stars of the World Cup Tour, have come to Aspen, Colorado. Who will emerge as the new master of the slalom gates? Join us to find out. Day 2 in Aspen, Colorado has dawned cloudy, but as we learned last week in Park City, Utah, the weather can change quickly in ski country. Welcome to the final day of the Aspen Winternational, presented by Chevy Blazer, and today our focus is the second men's World Cup Slalom of the year. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bob Barsha. With the departure of the great Alberto Tomba, the sport of alpine ski racing lost one of its great personalities, as well as one of its great athletic talents. We might also point out that this year we are also missing the skills of the reigning World Cup Slalom discipline champion, Thomas Stangassinger of Austria. But we have plenty of great skiers, and suddenly it's a whole new vista for the great alpine gate racers. And Puckett of France is a great example of that, picking up his first career win a week ago in the slalom at Park City. Now we'll have a new cast of characters from what we saw yesterday when Stefan Eberharder of Austria picked up the win in the first men's Super G of the year. We'll go from the speed and power of that great event to the cat-like reflexes and quick feet of the slalom. Our first skier is ready, and he is one of the great veterans of the series. Let's turn the mic over to Bob Beatty and Todd Brooker.
Finn Jaga from Norway leading things off here today. Jaga, the 1992 Olympic gold medalist from Albertville.
No, Bob, I think one of the things that was holding back Jaga for a couple of years was the fact that he was using Yamaha skis. The only guy in the world to use Yamaha. Now he's on Solomon, the whole Solomon package. I think he's a lot more confident. I'm impressed with the way he's skiing this year.
Well, he's 32 years of age, led after the first run last week in Park City.
A little bit ragged right in there along the flats. So I talked about it an awful lot yesterday in the Super G, how it goes from flat to steep.
Having a little bit of trouble in those tight turns. I really like Jaga a lot. Thomas Stangassinger from Sweden was disabled in an accident a few years ago, and Jaga just bought him a new car. Great guy. First at the moment, first racer down. Yesterday in the Super G event, the Austrians took the first 5 places. An unbelievable performance. But today, maybe the Norwegians, Todd.
Well, all you have to do, Bob, is look back 1 week in Park City after the first run. Norwegians occupied the first 4 of the top 5 places. I mean, those guys are strong. It's like a slalom all-star team, a dream team of slalom. I expect them to be hot
here. A dream team.
Exactly.
I like that. How about the way they ski?
Well, I think they're all so versatile. It doesn't matter what kind of hill. And when you talk about hills, this hill yesterday in the Super G took down a lot of ski racers. I think it's going to be a big factor also in this slalom.
Okay, yesterday the Austrians, maybe today the Norwegians. But Bode Miller and Sacha Gros of the United States, 2 to watch. The word from the forerunners, very icy, as we see Thomas Stangassinger from Austria. The Olympic gold medalist in the slalom in 1994, so we have back-to-back gold medalists.
You can see how icy it was in Jaga's run. A lot of slips in that first run, but they have watered this course down after they set it last night. They get the fire hoses up there and they just dump water on it, really pack it in.
You know, he really never hits his edges very hard. He's very light on his skis.
He's got a big lead, absolutely, half a second.
He just skis like it's powder skiing down here.
The style in slalom, Bob, has changed so much in the last few years with the skis and everything, but now it's hit the edges really hard and get off really fast. That's what Stangassinger's doing.
Stands high on his skis. This is a beautiful slalom ski racer. Through the finish line. Wow! 2 seconds over Jaga. What a run.
43.57.
So we are underway, and up at the top of the hill, the brash young Norwegian who swore that he would win the gold medal in the Olympic Games at Nagano, Japan, and then went on to do it. Hans-Peter Buras will be up when we return to the mountains of Colorado. Stand by for more from Aspen. ESPN coverage of today's Men's World Cup Slalom from Aspen, Colorado is being brought to you by Sprint. With long-distance, wireless, internet, and data services, Sprint connects you to your world. Welcome back to Aspen, Colorado, as we continue with the first of two runs in today's Men's World Cup Slalom. Let's take a look at our course for today's race. The slalom courses are short but full of activity. No fewer than 57 gates dot the course on Ruthie's run. Up at the top, the fourth member of our broadcast team, Steve Perino, is standing by with a look at the equipment that makes the slalom such a different event. Steve?
Here's a good example of the variety of equipment being used out here today. This is a 200-centimeter slalom ski, the kind used by Ole Christian Furuseth. He prefers a longer ski. He's been doing this a long time, 32 years old. He's used to a certain kind of arc. This, on the other hand, belongs to Bode Miller. It's a 192. Well, the length isn't the only difference. It's also that side cut. That's that distance you see right here. Now, when I press into the ski, it bends into a prescribed arc. When I bend to this ski with less side cut, it bends into a smaller arc, okay? What happens with this ski, people say it's more predictable. This one, while it has performance advantages, like a GS ski, that's what it's been modeled after, it's also a little bit unpredictable. When you get in trouble, they say it's harder to get out of trouble. Today on the ice, there are some concerns about whether this kind of ski will hold, but we are going to find out. This thing has been hosed into an ice rink from top to bottom.
Ole Christian Furuseth from Norway, 31 years of age. So we had Yaga 32 and Furuseth 31. How about the age with these ski racers? Can they get better with age?
I think they've got so much more experience, but these guys, I mean, sometimes you think about shape, you equate it with their condition, their shape, but these guys are in such excellent fitness.
He won in Korea last winter. First win for him since 1995. Doesn't look very pretty on his skis because he's quite tall.
Well, Furuseth was a real innovator. He was really the guy that changed the style from the days when you used to split your skis and step off of them.
But he's having a good run. He's hooked the 10. As I said that, he hooks a 10, and he's out of the race.
I think we're going to see a lot of this kind of accident today, Bob, because it's so slick. Control of the skis is so difficult. And watch the blue gate coming up. He's just going to have an inside ski that'll just slip inside. That tip just catches. When the surface is so slick, I mean, that's going to happen a lot.
Thomas Stangassinger just hung 2 seconds on fellow Olympic gold medalist Finn Christian Jager. Where did that time come from?
I don't know exactly. I think it was very difficult because the course setting was so difficult. Snow conditions are really perfect today. Much better than in Park City. And yeah, I had a really good first run, and so I hope to make also a second good.
You are the oldest and probably the most experienced of the top racers here. How much of a factor is that for you?
I think it's not so easy for the whole motivation, because now I'm 14-15 years in the World Cup circus, and so sometimes it's really hard to make a good training. But by the race, it's no problem, and I'm really glad to ski and fight with the other guys.
Good luck in that second run.
Hans-Peter Buras from Norway. And as he kicks out of the start, the gold medalist from Nagano, Japan, last winter.
It's kind of interesting. He pushed out of the start and then kind of stalled there for a second, waiting for that first gate to come to him.
He's also tall for a ski racer, but he is a real talent, isn't he?
He doesn't have huge thighs. He may not be as powerful as some of his teammates, but he is very quick off his edges, quick in his feet, and he's in the lead right now.
But only by 3/100ths of a second. But he really attacks.
You can see the way the hill is falling off.
Oh, he had trouble.
Exactly the same gate where Furuseth hooked the tip.
It's icy up there. It's all been iced down.
But what a shock that is, right at this fall-away gate, just coming too straight into it, and I really think that's a factor of this icy condition. This course may take down an awful lot of ski racers today, Bob.
Well, if it can get the Olympic champion, you know it can get anyone. Here's a look at our leaderboard. Speaking of Olympic champions, Olympic gold medalist Thomas Stangassinger leads the way over Yuri Kozier and another gold medalist, Finn Christian Jage of Norway. Here's a program note. NFL football action coming your way. Tonight on ESPN, the Denver Broncos trying to stay undefeated visit the San Diego Chargers at Qualcomm Stadium. Coverage coming your way live at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And then on Monday night, of course, it's time for Monday Night Footballs. The New York Giants battle Jerry Rice and the 49ers in an NFC West showdown. ESPN and ABC Sports, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football. We'll take a break. This is the 4th World Cup Slalom in Aspen, and look at the names of the previous winners. Billy Kidd, Ingemar Stenmark, and the late Rudy Neerlich. Welcome back to Aspen, Colorado and the Aspen Winternational, presented by Chevy Blazer. Big crowd having fun on the snow as we continue with round 1 of 2 in men's slalom. Now let's take you back to yesterday's Super G, the opening Super G of the year, on a course that many skiers acknowledge is one of the toughest they have ever seen. Heaviest crash of the day suffered by Canadian Carrie Mullen, who tumbled end over end. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Christian Meyer put himself on the podium for the 3rd time in his many different World Cup disciplines in this young season. His countryman Herman Meyer, the Herminator, shaking his head at the finish, unable to get the kind of run he wanted. And the man on top of the podium at the end of the day, Stefan Eberharder, cool as new fallen snow, picking up his 2nd World Cup victory in as many weeks here in America. Final results, Austrians 1st through 5th. Former World Cup overall champ Lasik of Norway finished in 6th place. Among the U.S. ski team racers, Paul Casey Puckett led the way as 5 U.S. racers scored valuable World Cup points. Now to the top of the hill and the newest star of the slalom. Once again, here's Bob Biatti and Todd Brooker.
Pierre Bode from France. He won the first race of the season last week in Park City, Utah. Came out of nowhere.
I think the thing to watch and the thing to consider this week, though, is the conditions are so much different. There was ruts last week, and there was ruts to push off and step off of. That's why Bourgeois did so well.
Maybe a big talent to come, though. And he's only 37 hundredths of a second behind. He's having a good run. Keep in mind that Stangassinger had a perfect run in that first run.
Easily through that difficult section where we see 2 Norwegians go out. Bourgeois staying right in the middle of his skis. That's really where you got to be to have control, especially on ice.
And as he comes through the finish line, he moves into 2nd place, 57 hundredths of a second behind. It'll set him up, though, for the 2nd run. Keep in mind, 2 runs in slalom, the combined time to count. And there is our leader. Back on the top, Christian Bjornsson from Iceland. Trains with the Finns. Also has a girlfriend who's Norwegian, so he gets some training in with the Norwegians.
I think that's a great place to be training. He lives in Lillehammer with his girlfriend, and I think he's befriended a lot of those Norwegian guys, and it's probably brought him along, helped him with his results.
But he's a good slalom ski racer. Not many ski racers in Iceland.
Look at the way he pushes himself off the flats. That was a very flat section. It's very difficult to be fast through there.
0.6 of a second behind.
Now, unlike first Athens,
oh, he had a little slip, but he recovered. Good recovery. He slipped on that ice.
Unlike the Norwegian,
there goes down. Going, gone, right?
Well, it sort of looked like it was going to happen in a few gates on that run. Not solid. This course is slick, and probably one spot where it's the slickest is right here on this side hill. Trying to get his edges to grip, but they just won't. Finally, leaning into the inside from this shot across the valley, you can see right in this gate here, leaning into his inside, loses that downhill ski. That's the end of his day.
Christian Meyer from Austria, his Austrian teammate in the lead. talked about the Norwegians, but could this be another Austrian day?
Well, remember, Slalom is a two-run event. You got to be fast in both of them. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in there if you have a good first run. All we have to do is look back to Park City to see that. The Norwegians so strong in that first run. Things turned around in the second.
Now the racers who have gone out have phoned back up to their teammates, so they know exactly where to slow down just a little bit. And he's only 27 hundredths of a second behind.
Meyer also very quick, but remember, this hill has taken down several skiers already. Meyer through that difficult section there, very strong in his edges. This is where power comes into play.
Well, these are big gates in there. Wide gates.
Yeah, there's some rhythm changes there. I think that's one of the differences.
To the finish line. He moves into second place by 26 hundredths of a second. He knows he's had a good run. Austrians first and second.
This point for Meyer was 21:05. So Stangassinger in the lead.
Tom Stangassinger from Norway. Used to be a downhill racer, but switched to slalom. Also an outstanding golfer. A couple years ago, came out here, went to Pebble Beach. He's got a 7 handicap.
You always laugh, Bob, when I compare slalom racing to golf, but you know, in a lot of ski racing, it is a mental game, and I don't think there's anywhere where you learn to be mentally strong more than you do in the game of golf. You can be great one minute, and all of a sudden the next week you lose it. You can't play.
Yeah, I don't really figure that out, though, Todd. This is a sport of action, though. Golf is a, you don't do anything.
It's absolutely a sport of action, but when you're in the start here, you can't have the yips. You got to be confident that you're going to be able to ski those gates. Well, confidence sometimes comes and goes.
Oh, I don't know about that, but anyway, Stangassinger coming down, having a good run, and he's in third position. Sets him up for a second run. You maybe don't want to go all out in the first run.
Second run coming.
Andre Cheto Amat from Norway. He's been on the circuit a long time. He's in great shape. He loves to train, and he has to love to train because he races all 4 events: downhill, Super G, Giant Slalom, and of course the slalom here.
Even his teammates have all kinds of respect for Ahmet. They say his work ethic is amazing. He just loves to train, and he is, like you say, he's in tremendous condition.
Father used to be his coach. Now he wants to train with the team. Stangassinger in the lead, and Amon having a very good run. On the top anyway, 25 hundredths of a second behind.
So many subtle changes in this course. The steep to flat, and here on the follow-away turns, Ahmet is so steady.
Boy, he is so powerful, though, too. It's a good combination.
Looks like he'll be in there.
Coming through the finish line, he moves into third place. So we have 2 Austrians and then 2 Norwegians.
It's a real showdown this time, isn't it?
It looks like an Austrian-Norwegian affair, doesn't it?
Our leader.
And here's how they stand in the first run. Thomas Stangassinger leading countryman Christian Meyer looking for his 4th straight podium finish. Kjetil André Amat of Norway in 3rd. Now, I wonder what Todd Brooker's talking about when he says those gates come at you quickly. This helmet cam being worn by one of our forerunners. Try this at racing speed. Aspen, Colorado, the Norwegian flag waving proudly on course. A Norwegian skier will be next down as we continue with round 1.
Lasik from Norway. The Norwegians 3rd and 4th, following the Austrians, who are 1st and 2nd. Hughes would like to move up into that top 5.
Remember a couple years ago back at Breckenridge, Lasik was saying one of the reasons the Norwegian team didn't do that well was the fact that they hadn't trained at high altitude. This year, however, they've been in the States for about 3 weeks. Training at Beaver Creek in Colorado.
Well, I'll tell you, he's a little shaky up there, but he keeps firing down the hill. 36 7/100 of a second behind. He's having a pretty good run.
Coming up to Norwegian corner right in there, no problem.
Okay, he got right through those gates to the top.
See, he's taking a couple right off his boot tops, and that's kind of knocked his ski back, knocked him out of balance.
Through the finish line. 5th position.
Right on the bottom, wasn't he?
This could be a great second run. I know, Todd, that you're going to be watching this man from Canada, Thomas Grandy.
Grandy is just a tremendous giant slalom skier, but he spent this past summer training an awful lot of slalom. 8th in the race last week in Park City. Good start for him.
If you're a giant slalom skier, why can't you be just a good slalom skier as well?
Well, I think the technique is so different. I mean, it's just a matter of hitting the edges, getting off them quickly. And look at this, only a 10th behind to this point.
Very good run by Grandy.
A little bit of a problem in that corner that's taking the Norwegians down.
Well, a little bit slow through there.
Yeah, you can see that he's taking a rounder line, turning a little bit rounder by those gates. Just being a little careful.
Through the finish line.
Hey,
7th position. Not bad. Let's take a look at some of those troubles that the Norwegians have had.
Well, there's the corner right there. Thomas Grandy gets thrown in on the tails a little bit. You saw that downhill ski shaking just a little bit. And then he said, hey, I better not go too straight in here. I'm going to start turning a little bit round, which he did.
On the World Cup podium in Park City in the Giants.
The Austrians are 1st and 2nd. And this man coming up, one of the most colorful racers from Austria, his name is Mario Reiter. They call him Superman, or what do they call him?
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Like the game.
He's kind of everybody loves him. And he's always kind of fighting back on the team.
I asked him about that last year at Kitzbühel, Austria, and he said, I like arcade games. And in fact, arcade games are a lot like slalom racing. You just got to get in there and fire. And he likes playing asteroids. That's his favorite.
Well, he always attacks. Sometimes he has to work his way back onto the team. Does a lot of successful running. He's only 3/100ths of a second behind. He's attacking, isn't he?
He's a great example of what I was talking about earlier. A guy with his feet together, hitting those edges quickly and getting off them.
Put his inside hand down on the snow a little bit.
In the follow way down here, that's when you got to split the skis a little bit and stand on them.
But he's still going. It cost him some time, but only 23/100ths of a second behind. He's in 2nd place. The Austrians 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then 3 Norwegians.
So looking to get back to that form of the 96
That is probably the single best run I have seen Super Mario make in quite a few years. Here he is leaning in, almost got that inside hip down, but he is so quick in his feet, and I think that was his real strength in this run. Great recovery there.
Well, that run by Mario Reiter tells those with higher start numbers that the course is holding up well. And wearing number 41, there is Sacha Gros getting set for his first run. With the retirement of Matt Grosjean, Sacha assumes the mantle of the highest-ranking American male slalom skier. You might see a outlook on his racing. I'm talking about psychology. He'll explain as we hear from Sacha Gros, the subject of this recent skier profile.
Imagine heading down your favorite recreational slope at 20 or 25 miles an hour when suddenly your vision goes from 20/20 to something much less. Now imagine doing it at 60 miles an hour on an icy World Cup course. That's the dance with the devil once faced on each run by Sacha Gros.
I was nearsighted, and I had probably 80-20 vision. For skiing, that's not adequate, especially when you're going 60 miles an hour. You really can't pick up any bumps or anything. So I had to wear contacts. And wearing contacts when you're going fast, they dry out really quickly. And with your goggles, you have to cover up all the holes so no air can get in your goggles. When you do that, they fog up, so it's catch-22. When you're going fast and when it's foggy or flat light, you can't see and you think your contact's drying out, or you can feel it drying out, you definitely lose some confidence. You take it off a level, you hold back a little bit, and you just can't do that in the World Cup. I mean, if you hold back at all, you're going to be, last. You have to attack as full as possible and not make any mistakes.
As part of a U.S. Olympic Committee program, Sacha underwent a procedure known as Lasik at the eye centers of Lake County in the Chicago area. The procedure basically uses a laser to reshape the eye and correct nearsightedness. As Sacha learned, the results can be miraculous.
Right when I came out, it was cloudy for a little bit, for maybe 2 hours. I took a nap, and right when I woke up, I could see just as well as I did when I came in with my contacts in. And obviously I didn't have any glasses or contacts in after that, and ever since then it's been getting better and better every day. Like it first started off at 40-20 the first day, next day was 20-20, and then I went for a visit like a month ago and it was 15-20. So it was actually better than what I had before with contacts.
I have seen a big performance change for Sacha this fall. I won't say that that's just because of that surgery, but for sure the surgery could be a part of his improvement. And since we're talking about that surgery, his improvement has especially been in his balance on his ski. He has got more forward. It's easy to get a little bit back when you can't really see what you're going into.
Armed with even better than normal vision, Sacha is now free to join his teammates in their primary endeavor, alpine ski racing glory.
We train together all summer, and we make each other go faster. We're always pushing each other, and we're a young team, and there's a lot of fire, and everybody's excited about this year. So I think we're all going to pull each other to the top.
As part of business dealings over athletics, Bezos proud to donate $1,000 to the Boulder ski team on behalf.
Come on, Sach, get it on. Let's go.
Sacha Gros, Colorado. His mother is English. His dad is French. Just down the road here, England with
Come on, Sach, go! Go, Sach, go, 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 go!
He won a super series event. So he could be on here. Off his balance there, but it could recover. This place is icy and tall. There's some chatterbox that they're starting to throw these little racers off a little bit. But he knows that it's a good shot as far as the points are concerned. Let's see how Sacha Gros gets at the point. I think his victory in that race last night, he's got a tip. We've seen so many others go down today. Tough break for Sacha Gros. Here he is in that follow-away turn. You can see down in this section the roads are starting to be just great skiing on that blue gate. That is such a sharp turn. Your skis start to split there, and it's that inside tip which catches on the gate. Good shot from the valley cam in that same section. You see that right ski catching the gate. What a shame for a guy, I think, whose confidence was so high at this moment.
A tough break for Sacha Gros, and that will not be a confidence builder for the next man out. Smith, the U.S. ski team. Months ago, he listened in on the radio as U.S. team coach for the league and gave him some words of advice about wins first.
No, you need it, coach. You need it. Turn out of here, man. You did it good. He turned out of here. Come on, Bode. Let's go.
Let's see if he gets the information right. Bode Miller from New Hampshire. 8th in the Giants. Come on,
Bode. Come on, go.
But Aspen, let's give him a big hand. Bode Miller.
Watch his skis in this game right in here. Look at the flex in the tip.
His finish in Giant Slalom at Park City last week, folks, was the best U.S. finish since 1991. He was 8th in Park City.
The result is that downhill ski goes straight. Ski comes out. Then you got to throw him side. Here he hit his edges 2 or 3 times in this run. Of course, there were some nasty chatter marks down there, which could be part of the problem too.
It's not that bad there. It's down by the bottom. Just gets all chewed up. You just got to really stay with it and fight it on the bottom, but you really got to attack on the top, so rip it up, dude.
Bode Miller talking to Paul Casey Puckett at the top of the hill. You got some of that same information before you came down. How useful was it to you?
Well, it would have been nice if Sacha had finished. I would have had a little more confidence in how to ski it. But it was just a really tough course, really challenging and icy, and I just don't really feel that confident in the ability to finish a real challenging course right now. I mean, I'm just glad today that I could, get through the finish line and at least give myself a chance to get a second run.
Let's hope you get it. Thanks, Bode.
I'll make the country. Let's go,
Slalom specialist Paul Casey Puckett. The first run is now complete. If this were a motor race, we'd be calling our leader Stand on the Gassinger. Leeds countryman Mario Ryder, as Austrians have the top 3 positions. And the second run will reverse the top 30 and come down slowest to fastest. Fortunately, no U.S. skier will get a second run. Run 2 is coming up in a moment. Beautiful Aspen, Colorado. Stand by for World Cup racing on the Aspen International weekend, presented by Lasik. Back in Aspen, Colorado, ready for the second run of today's men's World Cup Slalom. 22 skiers failed to complete their first run, including the Olympic champion. Todd, why is that?
I think the key to making it down the first run was skiing through a difficult side hill section of the course. I know U.S. ski team member Sacha Gros didn't like it very much. This is the way the gates are taking you down the hill. However, the fall line is going down this direction, so if you're skiing down the fall line, it's a pretty easy turn. Coming back up at the hill, it is a real cranker. When you stand on that downhill ski and make it carve, the natural tendency is for that inside ski to split. You really got to try and make it up that next direction for the next gate, but I think that splitting of the skis is the reason why so many skiers were catching tips in there. Here's Steve Perino with a look at another key element in this first run.
Here's a random little tidbit for you. According to the people at Lang, they don't know of anyone who's ever won a World Cup in a boot larger than a size 9. Well, the reason for that is that racers love to cram their feet inside these boots. Normally they're downsized 2 to 3 sizes smaller than their street shoes. And the idea behind that is so that they get their flesh right up against this plastic. And you can see some of the plastic that's been moved around by the technicians. They take Dremel tools and drill it out so the foot fits exactly against the side of the shell. a lot like a race car driver in the race car seat. They don't want any extra movement. Well, another thing to notice is when the racers step into the gate, the last thing you'll see them do is buckle up their boots. And the first thing to do when they get to the bottom is unbuckle them. And it ain't because these things are comfortable.
Right now, 107.14 in the Newland time, and his second run interval of 23.1. So Tommy right now placing the fastest. So while we're seeing a lot of skiers who look to be looking at the midway point, remember folks that the second run of Omni is what did it to him. And White was 4 runs down on the second run time. So a good bottom section helped.
Back in Aspen, Colorado, ready for the... Back in Aspen, Colorado, ready for the second run of today's men's World Cup Slalom. 22 skiers failed to complete their first run, including the Olympic champion. Todd, why is that?
I think the key to making it down the first run was skiing through a difficult side hill section of the course. I know you as ski team member Sacha Gros didn't like it very much. Now, this is the way the gates are taking you down the hill. However, the fall line is going down this direction. So if you're skiing down the fall line, it's a pretty easy turn. Coming back up at the hill, it is a real cranker. When you stand on that downhill ski and make it carve, the natural tendency is for that inside ski to split. You really got to try and make it up that next direction for the next gate, but I think that splitting of the skis is the reason why so many skiers were catching tips in there. Here's Steve Perino with a look at another key element in this first run.
Here's a random little tidbit for you. According to the people at Lang, they don't know of anyone who's ever won a World Cup in a boot larger than a size 9. Well, the reason for that is that racers love to cram their feet inside these boots. Normally they're downsized 2 to 3 sizes smaller than their street shoes. And the idea behind that is so that they get their flesh right up against this plastic. And you can see some of the plastic that's been moved around by the technicians. They take Dremel tools and drill it out so the foot fits exactly against the side of the shell. A lot like a race car driver in a race car seat. They don't want any extra movement. Well, another thing to notice is when the racers step into the gate, the last thing you'll see them do is buckle up their boots. And the first thing they do when they get to the bottom is unbuckle them. And it ain't because these things are comfortable.
Right now, 107.14 in the zero time, and a second run interval of 22.1. So Amier right now posting the fastest. To go down to the finish, Amier across the line, and the leader by a half second. Sebastian Amier won 27.58, and a second run split of 42.54. 23-year-old Sebastian Amier still the man to so the lead now, 106.75, and the second run split of 22.51. So while we're skiing, a lot of skiers who look to be able to get the midway point. Remember, folks, that the second run of Amier with Peter's results, and White was 4 points down on the second run time. So a quick bottom section helps.
Eastern. Moving back to racing in Boulder, Idaho, Canada, Thomas Brandy, to Stangassinger. Aspen resident and Gonzo journalist Thomas Stangassinger, his offbeat spin on popular culture, politics, and made him a cult favorite. Portrayed by the actor film Like its most famous patron, Bob Yaddy, of course, Woody Creek Tavern offers great food and friendly folks. Just remember to keep your big city attitude.
All right, let's see it, buddy. Let's go, bud. And we're back to live racing action on Point from Canada.
I've ever seen in the future of this.
He got hung up a little bit trying to make those gates, but it just wasn't in the cards. But how about a big Aspen welcome for Thomas Stangassinger from Canada.
This is the same position where we had so many people go out in the first course. This is a different course, but it's the same part of the hill, and it's the follow-away, I think, that causes so many problems.
He did have a good run going, though.
Heading on down to our final racers right now.
Eric Boja from France. 7th after the first round, 57 second.
World Cup
down here is a big reason why you slow down.
Now he's going to be a Norwegian and an Austrian pair. The Austrians 1, 2, 3, and the Norwegians 4, 5, and 6.
This is where experience really comes into play. Was basically just to set up actually in a simple battle. It wasn't down in the steep of the mountain. It was in the transition of the flags. Watch this Blue Gate coming up as he tucks in early. Just trying to nip off that line as much as possible. Losing control of that inside tip. That's a shock to see that happen to a man as experienced as Lasik chooses.
Well, it doesn't happen very often, frankly.
Moving down to our final five.
Way back.
Another
Norwegian coming up. He was
finishing in fourth position. He has won the World Cup Slalom 2 years ago. And the second run time of 23:44. So following others is exactly in the footsteps of this predecessor, Lasik, but coming down the course right now, wants to finish. See if the With a time of 1:27.70 and a second run time of 42.5. So Alma only the 14th second run, and that will still leave the basket on the way on top of the leaderboards. And the second run time at 42.59. But Meyer has lost the race from the first run and having a little bit of difficulty on the bottom line. For Kristen Meyer, and that assures
here in Aspen. Back in Aspen, Sebastian Amier knows he has some place on the podium. He's about to find out which.
We're seeing so many Austrian skiing so well. It's just because the World Championships are huge. These guys
What a tough break for Mario Reiter.
sticky down here towards the bottom, and I think that might have been the problem, and the reason why Mario Reiter caught his edge. Just there, he just couldn't get his edge out of the snow. Here's another look for the valley cam. I think that edge was sinking down. He just stood a little bit too long. Boy, that's amazing. Maybe his focus was at the finish line and not at the gate he was skiing.
And now Thomas Stangassinger is standing in the
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
it's to win or lose.
It's tough to make a mistake like that, but you're so close to the finish.
I think that Amier fired such a good run. Stangassinger might be thinking about that. Slalom ski racing.
Ranking his poles at the top. Our final racer here at the 7th place.
Stangassinger getting not staying with that course.
On the A from his first win in 2 seasons. A great race here at the Chevy Blazer Aspen Winternational.
It wasn't the fastest second run of the day, but it didn't need to be. 9th career victory for Thomas Stangassinger. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yes, the second run was much more difficult than the first one because the temperature is so warm and so the snow was a little bit soft. But so the first grades after the start, I turned a little bit slowly and was looking to come and I'm very happy about this victory.
With all the pressure to make the World Championship team, do you feel that pressure within the team when you run?
Not really. I'm 14, 15 years in the World Cup, and so for me it's very nice to ski with the younger guys and to compete with him and with all the guys and sure it's very important to make a good start in the season because then the next race are coming easier and easier and so for this is very important.
Congratulations. We'll see you in Kitzbühel.
Thank you.
Final results of today's race victory for Thomas Stangassinger. Sebastian finishes second in what continues to be the season of slalom.